having a blast. Gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you'll better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Boostly podcast. My name is Mark Simpson and I give hosts just like you the tools, the tactics and the training to get more direct bookings. And in today's lesson, what we're going to talk about is staycation. So there was a recent survey and study produced by Booking.com, Airbnb and the likes. And one of the big things that they are talking about is that they're talking about the big travel trend in this area at the present moment in time, which is going to be from domestic trips. So domestic trips will continue to dominate the travel space. And what's going to happen is that 47% of people will travel within their home country over the medium term, so in the next 7 to 12 months. And when it comes to local travel, 43% of people plan to explore a new destination within their home region or county. So that's a really large number. And what the surveys and the studies are showing is that if you have a domestic property and if you are a property manager, a hospitality owner that reaches out to maybe a wider audience, maybe an international audience, you're going to have to rethink for 2021. So what you need to be doing, number one, is have a look at your listings. So if you are based, say, in a country where English isn't the first language, how are you presenting your listing? What can you be doing on your listing to maybe be multilingual? So if, for example, you're based in Spain, is your listing, is your website the first thing that they see Spanish, or does it have to translate? So can you maybe find somebody on Fiverr? Can you maybe find somebody on Upwork that can translate it for you? Also as well, what are the amenities that you are providing that your fellow country people enjoy? So think about what you're providing. Think about maybe even little things like board games or magazines. Is it in English? Is it in English language, or is it in Spanish? You got to think about these things. So are you providing charging stations, for example, for the people that are in your country? Can you also offer electric charger options? Because again, if there's going to be a lot of people driving and not flying, electric cars are getting more and more popular. Can you provide that service? So these are the little things that you're going to need to think about in 2021 until international and flights become more common. What can you be providing? How can you be providing to them? And it really does delve back to that customer avatar. So what I want for you to do, just look at your property, look at your listing, look how it's presented, look at the customer avatar, and you may need to tweak it this year. So go and do that and then let me know. Feel free, reach out on Instagram at Boostly UK. You know where to find me. And thank you very much for listening or watching this episode. And I shall be back very soon. If this is the first time that you've tuned into the Boostly podcast, just go to boostly.co.uk/podcast. You can find the full back catalogue there. We've got over 150 episodes. So again, thank you very much for tuning in. And I will be back next time for another episode of the Boostly podcast.
Whoa, having a blast. Gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.